everyone? Satem Ali here, the Reverend of the Revolution. Welcome to your Daily Revolution. Today's topic: I'm a full-blown alcoholic once again. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. I got this message from my brother this morning. I was headed to the gym. It was about 5:25 a.m. and the message flashed across my screen while I was rolling out on the foam roller. And it said, I'm a full-blown alcoholic again, brother. This comes from a good friend, a client, a brother, even a mentor and a teacher to me. A man who I've known for a good 10 years. And this man his story is amazing. And perhaps one day we'll have him on the podcast here to tell his story. He was almost like he should have died. The man should have died. Was in this boating accident, and it's like miraculously he didn't die. It was like he was preserved, and he's gone through bouts of depression and alcoholism and drugs, and a road back to Jesus and a road back to God and being a 5-star daddy and a 5-star husband. The man has lost weight, he's gained weight, he's lost weight. It sounds like really kind of like most of us. You know, that sounds like my life. I've never dealt with alcoholism or drugs, but I've had my own demons that I'm dragons I've had to deal and fight. So why am I shooting this podcast? Because I've coached this man. And here's what I would share with you. So what? To the listeners of Your Daily Revolution podcast. Right, this podcast is about a revolution of transformation, a revolution of results, a revolution of prosperity. And to me, I would say, and to you, I would say, so what? So what if you are an alcoholic? Big freaking deal. So what if you've started to eat sugar again? So what if you've gained weight? So what if you've lost some business? So what if you feel depressed? So what? It's called life. Now, my words to this man and words to everyone in here is, see, the fact that he's an alcoholic again means nothing. It means nothing. It means zero. But society has placed these tags and these labels on human beings, and we have done that, and we've accepted this status quo. Oh my gosh, he's an alcoholic. Oh man, he's obese. Oh man, she's like we could go on and on about it. But if you want to have power, I'm going to give you something today that's going to really help you. It doesn't matter if you've gotten back on the bottle. I have another good friend who's running a huge company and does a lot of good, and he rubs a lot of people the wrong way. Dude's an alcoholic again himself. So what? The focus is not, oh my goodness, I'm an alcoholic. The focus has got to be, so what? What's next? That's all that matters. We're going to become, quote, alcoholics. When I say an alcoholic, I'm talking about we're going to become addicted back to pornography. We're going to become addicted to laziness. We're going to become addicted to sugar. We're going to become addicted to being negative. To all these things that really don't lead us to the place that we want to go, to the things that we want to have in our life. So what? What's next? You fall off the wagon, you get off the wagon, you get derailed. So what? What's next? You've got to train yourself to think that way. See, in my own life, 2 times in the last 10 years, 2 times, I'm channeling a little Lauryn Hill and the Fugees. I've lost 50 pounds. I went from 300 down to 250. Did it in 2009. I did it in 2012. I went from 330 to about 280. So I lost another 50 pounds. So 3 times I've dropped 50 pounds and I put it back on. Oh my goodness. I'm such a what? We as human beings, we create so much meaning and story around the event that's happening. That's the biggest problem. The problem is not that we get addicted to something, whether it's sugar, whether it's food, whether it's carbs, whether it's laziness and mediocrity, or the stories that we believe. The problem is not, I mean, I'm going to say this again. This is a bold statement. The problem is not that my brother is back on the bottle. No, not at all. That's called life. It's called choices, called natural consequences. The real question is, the real statement or phrase, so what? What does that even mean? It only means the meaning that you've given it. It only means something if you let it dictate and drive you for the rest of your life. You chose it. You let life get you, and you chose the bottle. You chose whiskey, alcohol. I don't even know these different names of alcohol out there. That's how ignorant I am about alcohol. But so what? What's next? That doesn't mean you're stuck there. I love Steve Sims, Blue Fishing, author and book I read, and you follow him on Instagram. He says, and I love this quote, no one drowned by falling in water. You're drowned by staying there. Alcohol is not going to define your life unless you stay there. So what? What's next? What's next? I love that he's honest about it. I love that I'm honest about being this overweight Polynesian. Now, people might say, oh, you're not fat, dude. Who am I kidding? I'm 6'4", 300 pounds. Why in the world am I 6'4", 300 pounds? I don't play football no more. I'm not a sumo wrestler. I'm not a professional athlete anymore. And yet what I have done is I have let the sugar, right? He's addicted to alcohol, or he's hooked on alcohol. I'm hooked on donuts and Baskin Robbins and funnel cakes and French toast with powdered sugar and all kinds of stuff. So what? What's next? So what? What's next? So how do you solve this thing? Stop creating unnecessary meaning around the event. Look, the event is the event. The event is hooked on alcohol again, hooked on sugar again, hooked on, perhaps some of you hooked on a pornography. And perhaps some of you are hooked on your electronics and your cell phones. Damn, put your phone down. Have some self-discipline and self-mastery. So what's next? So, for my friend, my brother, so what's next? Stop creating meaning. The meaning is going to hurt you more than anything. Oh, I'm a bad person. Oh, I have no control. Oh, this is so hard. That's the meaning you're creating. And that's the real problem. Therein lies the problem, is the meaning you're creating around getting back on alcohol. So the real thing is, so what's next? I don't make a big deal about it. You just got to decide now. I'll tell you my own story about alcoholism. My alcohol is not alcohol. It's called carbs and sugar. I love me some chocolate molten cake with some vanilla ice cream. I love me some butter cake from Mastro's Ocean Club in Newport Beach, or even south of Nicks. I love me some butter cake. And I never eat vegetables. I never eat salad. Never, ever, ever. And then just a little while ago, right in November, Thanksgiving, I'm up in Utah and I'm just stuffing my face and I'm just eating like I normally eat. I'm like, oh yeah, food's going out of business. And I just sat there looking at my life, looking at my clothes, looking at the fat on my stomach, fat on my love handles and my back fat. And I'm like, damn, Satima, when did you become soft? When did you just convince yourself that you were okay? And I'm looking at myself in the mirror, I'm getting ready to get in the shower. So I just stripped down naked and I'm just looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, dude, my wife should probably divorce me right now. My goodness. I've gotten soft. Now, yeah, I still bench press and do pull-ups because I love to lift weights, but I don't like to cardio. I don't like to run. I don't like to do those hard things. Lifting weights is easy. I could lift 3 hours a day, all day long. And I was in Utah and I was coming back. We were driving back from Utah for Thanksgiving. And I just was like, you know what? And part of this all stemmed because my 9-year-old, he's kind of big right now. He's a big boy, but he's starting to get this fat on his body. And we're very real with him. In a loving way, not a demeaning, not a condescending way, but just the reality, son, this is not good. And then, people already starting to call him fat, and no one like to be called fat. And then it kind of messes with your psyche. And, no matter how old you are, how young you are, it's really kind of messed with them. So we decided to do No Sugar December. And my anniversary was December 2nd. So, of course, I went and, my anniversary, we're going to eat some food. But come December 3rd, it was on. It was on like Donkey Kong. So what's next, right? I'm 302 pounds. I'm fat. I'm just going to say it, man. I'm a fat dude. at 302. It's not attractive. Doesn't feel powerful. I don't feel good. Sure, my shoulders and biceps and chest is big and my quads are big, but I'm like, nah, 302 pounds, that sucks. So I began to create this meaning. Now, there's a time and a place to create meaning. We always create meanings, and I decided to create a meaning of like, dude, this sucks. This freaking sucks. And I may not have said frickin' there. I may have said something else, but So I decided like I'm all in. And the way that what made it easy was I got really clear. Like, man, I don't want this. I don't want this for my life. Part of it too is my 6-year-old's always walking around with his shirt off. Like, Daddy, look at my six pack. Like, he's kind of got some ab definition going on here. And he's like, let me see yours. And then I'll lift my shirt. He's like, and then, he lies. Yeah, you kind of got a six. Yeah, Dad, I can kind of see it, man. There's nothing there. It's just like this stomach. So we commence. So what's next? What's next? I just decided. And it wasn't about no sugar. It was about wanting to feel a certain way about my life and about myself so that I could be at the peak of my game to impact and make a difference and not just be one of those gurus who teaches it, but who freaking lives it. So it's December 18th today. I've had sugar since the start, since December 3rd. I've had sugar 3 times. My wife's birthday, December 6th, I had 2 bites of an Oreo shake. And then on Sunday, I had a cinnamon roll. And then I had some chocolate chip cookies on my son's birthday. That was it. This is so simple. I'm down to 295 pounds. And this has all come about because I decided I don't want this. And it wasn't like I needed to get all hopped up. And it wasn't like I needed to go pound my chest. And it wasn't some crazy thing. It was like a silent inner decision. So what's next? Okay, I'm done. And I just knew like January is going to roll around. No one out there is going to come save me. No one's coming to save me. There's no coach I can hire that's going to motivate me. So I hired a coach. His name is Jeff, and he's awesome. Like I've hired a lot of nutritional coaches, but this one's different because I really want it. Like I'm just tired. I'm like, you ever get just sick and tired? And you get sick and tired of saying that you're sick and tired, and you get sick and tired of saying that you're sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, that's where I am. And I'm like, something's got to change. Like, when? So what's next? What's next is I've been really good this month. 295. My goal is to get down to 290 by Christmas. So I got 7 days, 1 week. And believe me, I'm rocking. I'm going to rock. I already hit the gym at 5:30 this morning. Hit my legs. I'm going to put on my 50-pound Go Ruck. I'm going to go for probably, I'll go hit 5 miles today. I'll listen to some books and I'll jog and I'll walk and I'm going to get a 5-mile ruck with my 50-pound ruck on my back. Listening to David Goggins' book. If you haven't gotten that book yet, man, pick it up. It's inspiring to me. Like, I've heard David Goggins before back in 2012. I've watched his videos and like you actually have to want to better your life. And you have to believe that you can better it. So to my brother who's back on the bottle, so what's next? So what? It's not the end of the world. You're not destined to stay there. You're not permanently assigned to stay there. And again, whatever your addictions are, whatever things are plaguing you right now, mediocrity, stupidity, insanity, alcohol, pornography, sugar, carbs. And again, I'm sharing things on here to me that for me, they don't give me what I want. So what's next? Stop creating meaning around it. Drop the guilt and the shame and just make a plan. Decide. Right? You got to decide. I love the old Will Smith video. You just got to decide. And I'm telling you right now, you can put this in the bank. You can put this down. You can take it to the bank, guaranteed. 2019 is the year of my physicality. Yes, I'm going to focus on my business. No question about it. I'm going to go double what we did this past year. Yes, I'm going to focus on being a 5-star daddy. And I got to tell you, like, this is going to be a little bit longer than normal, but ever since I really started on this path of just really being aware, I've noticed the attention and the commitment to every other part of my life. I'm highly aware. And I'll shoot another podcast, and I don't want to go too long on this, but look, to my brother out there, to my sisters out there, to those who are facing just challenges where perhaps you keep making these poor decisions, right? You keep choosing poor things. Decide. Is that really what you want? Is that really going to give you what you want? What do you want? What do you want to feel like? How do you want to live? And look, if you got to get support, right? AA, there's forums, there's online forums, there's local forums in most cities and places and villages and cities and towns, states. There's coaches out there. There's mentors. I coach people. I have programs. There's some amazing coaches out there. But you got to decide. And we're not just talking about alcohol. We're talking about your income, your money, your lifestyle, the way you're living. Like, you just got to be like, look, I'm done. I'm sick and tired. I'm done. No matter what your past has been, you just decide and you just start to chop that wood. That simple wood. We could, right? My boy Jim Steg talks about chopping wood. Just chop the wood. Simple. Simple. So what? What's next? You're addicted to alcohol. So what? What's next? You're back on the alcohol, the bottle. So what? What's next? What's next? Decide. Decide what you want. Decide that it matters to you. Create a powerful meaning. I've already created the meaning. When I'm 260 pounds, like, I'm going to feel that, a certain way. I'm going to look a certain way, and it's going to give me this thing I want. And I've created that. And it works for me. I'm committed to it. So wherever you're at in your life today, wherever you're at listening to this, if this has resonated with you, go leave a review on iTunes. That would mean a lot to me. And share this on and go teach someone what you learned. So what? What's next? You got this, my brother. You got this, man. One day at a time, one step at a time. Just decide. Just decide, man. Just decide. I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.